5 things that you must do to improve as a football player in 2024. Welcome back to my channel, and today, as I have already said, we will be focusing on the 5 things that you must do to improve as a football player in 2024. Okay, so I just want to dive into this video without wasting too much time. So yeah, let's get it. The first one is the type of food that you eat. The second one is your training. Third one is your mental health. Fourth one is, do you study the game? How do you study the game? Fifth one is your fitness, your overall fitness. Okay, so I want to tackle each and every one of these 5 things one by one and actually just evaluate them. So, okay, the first one is food, the type of food that you eat. So I'm gonna use my experience on how I have overall improved my diet and the things that I do eat, because I'm a football player myself. So firstly, you have to try, or you must try to just avoid fast food. Just try to avoid fast food football. Like, the method that I use is, I make sure that in a week, Monday to Friday, I'm eating just the food that I do eat. I try to include as much protein as I can. I try to drink as much water that I can, and maybe on a Saturday, on a Sunday, I can just have one cheat meal and just have something to actually, maybe something that maybe you crave for. Just eat it. Just try to eat it once a week. Just narrow it down to once a week. Yeah. The second one is training. How you train. We live in this modern day society where we see a lot of drills, on social media and all of this other stuff. So I'm gonna actually share what is actually working for me right now. What I actually think is maybe possibly the best thing that you can try to implement in your training. I think training the basics. Yes, training the basics. I think it's most probably the most important thing that you can actually implement in your training. Training the basics, like one touch passing, two touch passing, having a wall, that you can pass the ball to, and just, yeah, improving your touch and your technique with just the wall passes and all that. I think once you master the basics in football, like, you can basically play at the highest level, because you need to have good technique and good ball control to play at the highest level of football. And at any level of football, you really just need to have good first touch, great two touch passing, and all of that. Yeah. So okay, the third one that I want to dive into is your mental health. I think mental health is something that in this current generation, we have been more sensitive to mental health, and how there are a lot of campaigns being run, to actually monitor the mental health of both men and women. So I think it's something that we are more sensitive to right now, in this current generation, mental health. And I think it's something that is actually also highlighted even in football players today, because we see a lot of football players who actually do struggle with the mental health, and that can affect the way that you ultimately play on the football pitch. So I think it's very important to have just a clear state of mind to actually play this beautiful game of football. So I'm going to share a couple of techniques that I actually use myself to just get my mind clear, before I step on the pitch, before I actually play a match or anything. Like, okay, the first thing that I'll share right now is that I'm actually a Christian. I'm a Christian, and I try to pray as much as I can throughout the day. I try to read the Bible. I try to just stay in the presence of God, just try to worship God, because ultimately that gives me peace, and I think that prayer can actually can also give you peace. It can also give you peace to just actually just realize that you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself, even when you're on the football pitch, even when you're not playing football, just doing anything in general, like you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. And that's one of the main things that I love about Christianity, and that I love about how God has changed me, because now I no longer feel so much pressure to actually just be obsessed. I do work hard, I do make sure that I put in the work as much as I can, but like I'm just able to have a clear state of mind because I know that win or lose, God still loves me. So the second technique that I actually want to share with you is actually trying to implement more motivational videos into like the content that you consume on social media. I'm not saying that don't consume entertainment, but just try to watch as many motivational videos as you can, just to build up your confidence, because ultimately when you are confident, it's very hard for your mental health to actually struggle before a game or after a bad game. Just, yeah, that confidence is very important in football and actually in any sport, and just try to implement as many motivational videos as you can into the content that you do consume. So okay, let's move on to the fourth one. The fourth the fourth thing that you need to implement in 2024 to actually become a better football player. The fourth one is how you study the game. So okay, it's very important, because it really just helps you to understand your position in general, how to actually play your position. So a couple of techniques that you can actually try to use is you can try to firstly watch as many football matches that you can. You can pick a football match, any football game, it could be the team that you support, and actually just watch the player in your position, how he actually plays his position. You can actually just watch him and take down notes if you can. If you must, you can take down notes, but just focus on the player that plays your specific position, and just try to watch him, examine him, and actually just, yeah, I'm pretty sure that you will get a bit more understanding about how to play your position, and yes, okay. So the fifth one, which is your fitness. I think your fitness as a football player is very important, because playing 90 minutes while the sun is out is not exactly the easiest, though. Not exactly the easiest experience. I think, yeah, everybody knows that 90 minutes is not just 90 minutes is not child's play. So I think you can just try to actually have like separate individual training sessions for yourself, mainly focusing on your fitness. You can try going on long runs, just 10K runs. I don't know, yeah, just try to go on runs. You can try to improve your physique, maybe going to a gym. You can try to do drills that specifically focus on agility and speed and all of those things, because it's very important to really just actually focus on that aspect of the game, which is your fitness. Yeah, like for example, if you're a winger, you know that I think being a winger, like having speed is actually something that's important. So I don't know, you can try to find some drills, mainly focusing on how to improve your speed, maybe your agility, using cones, using drills without the ball, off the ball, without the ball. And I'm pretty sure that you will improve. I'm just making an example, but I'm not saying that if you're a midfielder you shouldn't do those drills. You can also do those drills, implement those drills, and yeah. I will say that the fitness aspect, it really goes hand in hand with the food that you eat, because you can't be, every day you're eating, the fast foods or the unhealthy foods, like you can't be eating those and then you go to the gym or you run or you do long runs or you go to the pitch, because these things, they go hand in hand, to actually improve your fitness, so yeah. Okay, that was actually the last one. The last one, yeah. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much if you made it till the end. Make sure to hit that like button and to subscribe for more football content. Thank you so much. Peace.